You ever have one of those mornings where you step outside coffee in hand, birds chirping, sun bouncing off your pond, and you just know something's about to go sideways? Yeah, that was me, Ethan Caldwell, thinking I was about to have a regular Saturday on the ranch. Just me and my 12-year-old daughter Lily carrying on the Caldwell name like we always have 3 generations deep. But the world had other plans that morning, let me tell you, because what I saw on my property looked less like a peaceful day and more like the kickoff to a music festival nobody invited me to. I'm not exaggerating. There were tents all over the grass, Edison bulbs strung up in the oaks, and a dozen adults in designer hiking gear stretching and humming around my livestock pond like it was a fancy resort spa. My jaw dropped so hard I nearly lost my mug. That serene pond they were meditating beside. That's the livestock's bathroom, not some healing oasis. I've got 12 cows and 6 horses doing their business in there every single day for years, but there they were breathing deep, soaking in what they thought was nature's energy. Front and center, running the show was Monica Harper, the HOA president, self-appointed oracle of all things community. Salon-perfect auburn hair, expensive boots, and a voice that carried like she was selling timeshares on the moon. She was waxing poetic about the pure energy of the public water and leading her little army through sunrise yoga, practically blessing my livestock's outhouse in the process. I tried to stay neighborly, I really did, but seeing my family's land turned into a retreat for people who'd probably never cleaned a stable, my patience started to slip. I walked over, gave a polite good morning, and told her, "There's been a mistake. This is private property and that pond's for my livestock." Monica flashed that HOA smile, the kind you know is all teeth and no heart, and said, "Oh, you must be Ethan. We're so grateful you keep this public space beautiful for the community." She gestured like she'd just donated a wing to a hospital. Public space, my foot. My name's on the deed. I've paid taxes here longer than most of them have lived in town. But Monica wasn't done. She whipped out her phone, showed me some grainy, half-faded survey from 1987. She swore proved my pond was a community watershed, then started tapping out messages to her HOA group, advertising the spot as a hidden gem for nature lovers. I was seeing red but tried to keep it cool for Lily's sake. That girl's already lost her mom, and the last thing she needed was to see her old man get hauled off for brawling with the neighborhood association. By noon, Monica's crew had set up a whole operation, music blasting, a makeshift kitchen with an espresso machine and some guy snapping photos like he was shooting for Wilderness Living magazine. It only got worse by Monday. Monica had transformed her trespass into a full-blown water freedom festival on the empty field next to my property, but close enough to make my pond the star attraction. Food trucks lined the road, college kids showed up with floaties, and even the local radio station came out to broadcast live. Suddenly, my peaceful ranch was the battleground for some crusade against greedy landowners. Monica gave interviews about water rights, painted me as some miserly baron hoarding nature, and social media just poured gasoline on it. Next thing I know, there's a viral article online, "The Rancher Who Owns Nature." Commenters called me every name in the book, people I'd never met, claimed I chased them off my pond, and a teary-eyed mom went on camera saying I'd ruined her kid's day out in the wild. None of these folks had ever set foot here before, but their stories were racking up views. It was like reality had broken loose and run screaming into the internet. Then it hit home for real. Lily came back from school in tears. Her best friend's parents banned her from the birthday party because we don't support environmental criminals, and kids started calling her water thief. My local hardware store stopped my account, and the diner I'd gone to for years suddenly had no open tables. Even Lily's school asked if I'd sit out the science fair, too controversial to judge volcano models when you're stealing water from children. I was drowning, and the worst hadn't even happened yet. Out of nowhere, my neighbor, Dr. Tom Ellis, calls me. He's our local vet and friend. 2 weeks before, I'd asked him to test the pond water just to cover my bases. When I got to his clinic, Tom looked like he'd just swallowed a frog. "Ethan, that pond water, it's a disaster. E. coli 400 times above safe parasites, nitrates, you name it. It's not safe for anything but cows and maybe a really stubborn duck." For days, I'd watched kids play in it, parents snap pictures, some even filling their water bottles while Monica preached about purity. I felt sick. Tom begged me to shut it down, but how do you stand up and say, "Actually, the pond you've been fighting over is a biohazard," when everyone thinks you're just making excuses? And I hesitated, afraid I'd look like a liar, just trying to save my own hide. That's when Lily stepped up without telling me. She made a TikTok POV. Your dad's called a water thief, so you spill the truth. She filmed Betsy the cow doing her business right in the pond, told the camera, this is their toilet, not a swimming hole, then showed the water test kit. Teenage sass, a world-class eye roll, and the kind of honesty that just can't be faked. It blew up 2 million views in hours. Suddenly, people were laughing at Monica's crew for meditating, and cow poop scientists chimed in to explain why livestock ponds are basically no-go zones for humans, and the health department showed up in hazmat gear. Inspector Karen Holt rolled up looking like she was about to walk onto the set of a disaster movie, started testing the water right there in front of the crowd. Parents yanked their kids out of the pond. Monica tried to claim harassment, but when Karen held a press conference and announced the water was a public health crisis, well, let's just say the nature lovers scattered fast. I thought it was over, honestly. But Monica, she wasn't done, not by a long shot. That Monday, a lawyer named Gregory Tate served me with a lawsuit for reckless endangerment and intentional harm. They claimed I'd hidden the pond's dangers and lured families in as some kind of twisted joke. Security footage of me watching the festival became evidence of malice. Monica posted online about how I'd set her up to look like a fool, painting herself as the true victim. Suddenly, I was facing a $2 million lawsuit for reputation damage and medical bills. My insurance dropped me, my bank started hinting about my loan, and Lily's school banned me from campus events. She stopped eating, worried we'd lose the ranch. And then just when I was about to hit rock bottom, I remembered something Lily had pointed out, that Monica's voice sounded weirdly familiar in her old videos. I dug back through my records, and sure enough, 3 years ago there'd been a woman named Monica H. who called about building a livestock pond. She'd grilled me on bacteria contamination, even asked for plans, said she was thinking of buying a ranch. Turns out Monica had tried to buy my ranch months before all this went down through a shell company offering pennies on the dollar. If I could clear some environmental issues. But why go through all this trouble? I found my answer in a coroner's report. Monica's son Caleb had died in a car accident right down the road from my ranch, hitting gravel after a storm. Monica blamed me, blamed the ranch, blamed the world, and decided to make me pay. All of this wasn't about water rights or community. It was about revenge, pure and simple. The trial was a circus, people shouting, reporters scribbling, Monica sitting front and center in her best grieving mom getup. My lawyer played the old recording of her consultation, and when Monica's own voice filled the courtroom, asking about contamination and how it could affect property values, her whole act fell apart. She snapped, stood up, started ranting about Caleb and how she wanted me to lose everything like she lost her son. Her own words gave the game away. She admitted to trying to ruin me and risk kids' health just for payback. The judge didn't hesitate. Monica got arrested for conspiracy, fraud, and reckless endangerment. Her lawsuit went up in smoke. Her own family sued her for putting them in danger, and even her loyal blogger friends apologized. Monica got 18 months and 300 hours cleaning a wastewater plant. Poetic, right? Lily and I put up new signs. Private livestock water, not safe for humans, and built a real fence just in case. What did I learn? That misinformation can destroy a life faster than fire, and that sometimes grief turns justice into a weapon. This wasn't a story about water at all. It was about pain and revenge, plain and simple. Next time you see a perfect pond, you might want to ask what's in it before you dive in, because the line between a summer swim and a hospital visit is way thinner than folks think. So tell me, what's the wildest neighbor drama you've ever seen? Drop your thoughts below. Did Monica deserve worse, or is there such a thing as justice in these fights? Hit like if you stuck around for the ride and share your take, because these stories aren't over, not by a long shot.